the good men? You need more than one? Well, I need options, a pool of people to choose from. Oh, so we're shopping for men now. I just want to be able to choose wisely. A net catches more bees with honey. What does that even mean? You don't need a bigger pool, you need a better signal. Right now, your energy is saying, where are they? Why aren't they here yet? Instead of becoming the person who attracts the right one. So it's about me again. It's always about you. So then what do? Shift your energy from scarcity and desperation to high value and self-trust. At that point, you won't even need all the options because the right one will come to you.
Chivalry, because the conversations like these. A man can me so much faster than I kill him. It is not acceptable for anybody to be touching each other.
Yeah, you're giving yourself a social privilege. You seem to think that simply because it's a woman doing it instead of a weaker man, that somehow they have some additional privilege to that, because
I never said
generally women are weaker than men. If a woman was 30% weaker than you are and she punched you in the face, would you punch her back?
If she hurt me enough for me to get pissed off about it, because she's a woman and my age, yeah, she's getting punched back in the face.
You tell me what the distinction is. If a man, if you're 30% weaker than him and you punch him in the face, why is it now unacceptable
That's where you're
him
wrong.
to punch you?
If a man punches me in the face, my jaw's broken. If I punch a man in the face, it will be like a slap.
You could break his nose.
Wow.
If the woman is 30% weaker than you, the same result could happen. That's the point.
If you're asking yourself, where are all the good men? According to my Instagram poll of 167,000 men, 26% are taken, 22% are single, but they just straight up don't want a relationship, which leaves approximately 50% of men that are available. Oh wait, but out of that, only 12% of men are actively dating, and 40% of men are looking to date, but they're waiting for a unicorn to come to them. I think that when women are asking where are all the good men, they're talking about that 40%. Well, ladies, the men in the 40% are the men that are working overtime instead of going out and dating. Because honestly, they would rather look at the weather app or check their crypto investments rather than ask another girl off of Hinge how her day was for 5 days in a row. They would rather go fishing with the guys or even fishing by themselves rather than spend another $200 on a first date that goes nowhere. And when these men are not at work, they're probably at the gym, playing video games, or maybe ignoring people, which is kind of understandable.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
I wouldn't really say this is a lesson, but one thing that I've recognized more than ever is how much of a husband's girl that I am. Like, I love my friend so much, but I would rather choose a night in with him than a night out any day of the week. Just so steady and has such a calm and soft presence about him. And he's so logical. Like, when I am so emotional and I want to lash out, he just brings me down to earth. And I feel like everyone needs that. And what do you mean that I get to live with a hot silver fox who pays my bills and buys me treats and tells me I'm pretty and touches my butt? It's just the dream life.
This is what not only appreciation looks like, but what liking your husband looks like. Because did you notice that in the very beginning, all of the list of qualities that she listed in the beginning was all about who her husband is as a person. And what he looks like and what he provides was listed afterward. That is what's telling and what is unfortunately all too rare for most men in relationships. Kudos to this woman because she actually married somebody that she likes based on how she felt about him as a person and not just what he was providing to her. That is the key, ladies. It's not that complicated.
Truly understand why a lot of women are single. Y'all gotta check this out.
Yo, so a current man that I'm dating reached out to me and was like, he needed to talk to me about something that's been bothering him. So he said that he enjoyed dating me, but he does not enjoy the fact that I come to every date late. Now, honestly and truthfully, I do come to every date late on purpose because I'm a lady. And I feel as though a man should be there waiting on me. You need to be waiting on me. You need to be anticipating if I'm coming or not. And it's like extremely late. I'll probably be like 15 minutes late. But it's the anticipation of me walking in, right? You need to have a table together and all this other kind of stuff. By the time I get there, I just need to walk in there. You don't want to watch me walk? You ain't trying to see me walk? I'm trying to show you what I'm working with. And you worried about me being late. So I told him that I'm sorry that he feels that way. And that I'll do better with my time management skills. Y'all, I'm gonna come even later now. Just because you complain.
Yeah. You can't make this up, people. You cannot make this up.
Now, let me just say, I do love to watch a woman walk into a table, so I'm not mad at that statement. But what I do have an issue with is you don't have to be 15, 20 minutes late to do that. You can be a couple minutes late because I'm punctual. So if dinner's at 7, I'm gonna be there at 6:55. And I'm pretty sure since that man sent you that message, he's probably punctual as well. So with me, you can get there on time and I'll be there waiting for you. But you don't have to be 15, 20 minutes late. Nobody wants to sit there and wonder if you're coming or not. What kind of logic is that? You do that once, maybe twice with me, and you're gonna be wondering if I'm coming because that's a problem for me. I don't like a woman who's late. I understand here and there, but when it's an every time thing, I don't like that. But what I really like is this man addressed it. He told her what he had an issue with. He didn't ghost her or anything. He told her, this is an issue, I would hope you resolve it. She then told the man she's gonna fix it, but then came online and told the world that she's gonna make it worse just because he brought it up to her. So you really don't want a man to address stuff with you, is what it sounds like to me. All I am saying is if you're a beautiful woman, you don't have to play these type of games to get my attention. You can get up and go to the bathroom. You can get up and go to the bar. There's so many ways you can show me what you're working with. You don't have to be 15, 20 minutes late to do that. So miss me with those excuses, all right? Now, she did say she wants this guy to see what she is working with. So I really hope he watches videos so he can see what she's working with mentally as well. Because to me, this man sounds mature, so I'm pretty sure this ain't gonna go over well with him. But who knows?
To me, this man sounds like a beta.
Beta!
Because I guarantee y'all this is not the first time she's doing something out of pocket. It's not a one thing. If she's gonna think in her mind, I'm gonna reach 15 minutes late, when she said it's not an extreme late, 15 minutes late is an extreme late. Be 15 minutes late for your flight and see if you get on. She's talking about it's not an extreme late. Anyways, I can guarantee y'all this is not the first time she's doing something this out of pocket. Somebody who is as narcissistic as her, who think that I don't have to respect anybody's time just so he can watch me walk in, is somebody who does a lot of things out of pocket. And what this tell me that he has been tolerating her narcissistic behavior. He has been tolerating her either out of fear of losing her or not being content to being single or whatever it is. This is not the first time she's doing something this out of pocket, and this is why I say beta. Y'all leave your thoughts in the comment section, because excuse me, no. And then for her to be like, I'm gonna be even later just to show. These narcissists attract a specific kind of guy, and if she's so narcissistic in the whole showing up late, I'm telling you, this is not the only thing she is doing that shows her narcissistic traits. I can put my next paycheck on it, man. Nah, Christ, this is not the first thing she's doing to show how narcissistic she is, and he's putting up with it. He's putting up with it thinking that, I can change her. Maybe if I communicate to her, maybe if I tell her, no, you need to have some deal breakers, some boundaries. The fact that she's not respecting your time means that she's not going to respect you. I've said this in previous videos.
Red flag when you know, red flag when you don't see.
A lot of these modern women keep on asking this silly question over and over again. How come I can't find a good man? Where are the good men at? They're with the ladies that decided to prioritize them and cater to them when you decided you was going to go to the club and mess around.
Men don't approach women anymore because they're often referred to as creeps and they're scared of rejection. It's something that I hear a lot of. And I wanted to personally speak to
We're not going to deny that,
because
right?
I have a lot to say, because I am the biggest supporter of men being men and men pursuing women. Okay?
I like that too.
I'll preface this by saying that. But
Very
the problem
natural.
is, a lot of men pursue women knowing that that woman is not interested in them. And therefore it leads to this negative culture with it.
So see, like the women that we reacted to talking about men chasing and loving the game is one thing. And then other women who see these men chasing them and they're not giving away because they're not interested in them and they want to chase more because they think it's the game. Do you see the confusion there?
I could speak from my personal experience. I am a very respectful person. For the most part, any person that has ever approached me, tried to pursue me, that I knew I was not interested in, that person did not leave thinking about, I've been rejected, what a terrible experience. They were never felt like a creep, none of that.
Hey, let's talk. I have been really tired lately. Super tired, and deep down I knew why, but I haven't wanted to admit it to myself. But here's me admitting it. I'm depressed again, and literally on the verge of tears as we speak. I am so tired of always being so strong and trying to be positive and trying to help everyone else, because I don't get it in return. I don't. Like, whenever I see someone going through something, I try to go out of my way, above and beyond, to make them feel heard and loved and cared for, and I don't get that. And like, I'm so tired of having the heart that I have, because when I love someone, I truly love them with everything I have, and having the heart that I do does nothing but get me hurt. And I'm just tired. I'm real tired. I want someone to do for me as I do for them. And I don't know. But like I said before, I'll always show the good and the bad, and here's the bad. So, yeah.
Now, a lot of these men have been trained, have been taught to be chivalrous. They've been trained to be gentlemen. But a lot of that behavior has stopped when y'all start saying it's the bare minimum. When y'all quit saying thank you. You're literally telling men, hey, I see what you're doing, but you don't get any brownie points for that. You don't even get a simple gesture of respect.
Chivalry is not attention all. I have great news. Chivalry is not. I was getting really, really nervous that this whole nonchalant kind of don't care, laissez-faire vibe was taking over mankind like some sort of a plague. And I'm not a fan of it. I said, bring back yearning, bring back chivalry, bring back awesome, kind, knight behavior. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm old school, but bring it back. Come on. So I work in elementary school, and I had to take a student to the washroom. So we're walking to the washroom, he goes in, he comes out of the washroom. I start walking ahead of him because, give him his space. He's one of those cool kids. I don't need to be up in your grill, like whatever. Waddle. He starts booking it, sprinting in the hallway from behind me, in front of me, booking, run around me. Yo, slow down, we don't run in the hall. Like, we don't run in the hall. What's gotten into this little sucker? He's one of my star students. Why are we running in the hall, for one? Why are you running in the hall when I'm right there with you? I can see you running in the... Don't even do me like that. I said, slow down. Booking it, because I'm in front of him and I'm about to near a closed door. This child sees that closed door, books it, sprints. I say, slow down. He gets the door. He goes, I'm sorry, Miss Marlowe. I'm sorry. I just couldn't let a lady get the door. Excuse me? Did you call me a lady? I said, I'm laughing. I say, what? Because a girl can't get the door, especially if I'm around. Excuse me? He just gave me faith in the new generation, in all of mankind, and maybe it's the bare minimum, but the fact that men my age don't get the door for me. The fact that my 8-year-old student got the door for me, then gave a reason why a lady can't get the door. Yeah, no, she can't. He's like, they can't. I said, I can. But he wanted to. Yeah, I'm gobsmacked. Maybe it's the bare minimum, but I was so proud of him that I talked to parent at pickup. I said, your child's king. Your child's awesome. Yeah, best day ever. Chivalry's not... Hold out hope. There's still good ones around. Someone's gonna get your door, queen. Someone's gonna get it.
The second I get in this car, my husband's gonna look at me and say, what's wrong with you? And I'm gonna say nothing. But what I'd really like to say is, I'm so glad that you can get yourself dressed and get yourself out in the car and ready to go. While I get every single one of us ready to go, dressed, packed up, fed, and get everything loaded up in the car while watching the kids. But no, I'm good.
Say it. That's how you feel. Say it. Or you know what? Next time, ask him to do some of those things for you so you can get yourself ready and you can get your kids ready or whatever it is that he can do to help. Now you're building resentment against this man when he has no idea that you needed help. Sometimes if you jump on something, a man will see that and be like, okay, she's got it. She's good. She doesn't need my help. Especially if you're the type of woman that handles things really well, and on the outside you look like you're the boss, you've got it. Yeah, a man's gonna give you the space to get it done. So if you need help, you need to speak up. We refuse help, we overextend ourselves, and then we weaponize that exhaustion that we have and use it against him. And now he's the bad guy when he had no idea that you needed his help. He's not a mind reader.
But modern women don't understand that. They don't understand that men ignoring women is a natural response to a man's attention being weaponized. You're recording men for content, you're screenshotting DMs and sharing it in group chats, and men learned, hey, she ain't gonna do anything but with this information but clown me. Well, let me go ahead and get out of Dodge.
What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
I'll say hi. I saw you and my daughter's outside. Are you available?
He's in this restaurant. She said she's gonna go inside. You're just gonna go in and look at him?
Oh, see. I'm gonna ask Anna about him.
And she's off. I could like see another restaurant, but I don't see her, so I think she may have sat down. And I think I see her. I see her. She is full-fledged hitting on this man for me. No, it's been 5 minutes, 4 minutes and 37 seconds since she's been in there.
He's 26 years old. He's JJ, the tennis coach over at the tennis club. And he's got an accent like he's from Brussels or somewhere, Sweden. But he's very handsome. He says, could she come in here and say hello? You want to go in there and say hello?
No.
I said, what?
No, we're going home.
So I said, I just thought he was probably with his parents. I say grandparents.
Yeah.
And he says, I want to come in. I said, no, I'm not going to be intrusive. He's right there. But he's a very handsome guy.
Just keep going. Keep going. Hi. Just go, Mom.
He's very good looking. Your age.
What did you say my age was?
I said, how old are you? He says 26. I said, I got a 32-year-old daughter. I didn't want to make you look too old. I said, my daughter, I said, I saw you. I thought you're very handsome, and I want to know who you are. And if you're available, are you married?
And what did he say?
I'm 26. I said, oh, you're too young. He said, I wouldn't mind meeting her. He said, come on in. I said,
these
no.
young guys love these older women these days.
Go figure, huh?
Uh-huh.
But it never hurts to ask, right?
Yeah. You told him you were checking him out.
I said, oh, I thought you were very handsome, and I thought, maybe you were with your parents. And the lady introduced me. I think she's one of those Chinese ladies that's ultra rich. Yeah, I think they have a boat. You can just tell that type.
Yeah.
Like how, he's my tennis coach. There's something for you. They're a very handsome tennis coach.
I saw the hottest man. Honestly, I saw like 3 hot men today in my hot yasa class, like my hot yoga class. Why don't we say anything? Why do I have to be the one to say something? Fuck, I understand. It's so uncomfortable to like go up to someone cute and be like, hey. Because for every person that is like on TikTok being like, well, you could approach a man, like, I have been. And are the men just gonna be like, hey, do you wanna grab a coffee? Hey, what's your name? Hey, do you go to this class or what? Like, there are so many ways to slide in, and I'm kind of low-key pissed off that I'm like upset that I didn't say something to a man. What do you mean? Bitch, what do you mean? Why am I upset? I just don't understand why it's like not that easy for men, because it's so easy. Literally just ask the girl one of those questions if you see someone out like that. Don't look at the shirt, it's my work shirt and it's got stains, okay? Leave me alone. Go up to the girl and be like, no, just ask the question first. Just be like, hey, you've been doing this class a lot? And then like if the girl is uncomfortable or she has a man, she'll tell you. Trust me, she'll tell you. Why do I feel like I have to approach a man? Why can't the man just do it? Because it just hits even worse, and it's even more embarrassing when the girl shoots her shot, like when she already shouldn't be, and then the man's like, oh, I actually had a girlfriend. I can't. Why am I getting mad that I didn't go up to this man? This isn't my problem. This has never been my problem. Women can go approach men, but listen, I've done it like 3 times in a row in the last 4 days, and I'm kind of sick of it. I'm kind of sick of it. So men, really, there is nothing to lose. I promise it doesn't hurt your ego that bad. I promise. I went up to a DJ, and I thought he was hot, and he was like the opening DJ, and he was, in the background in Chicago, and I literally go to him and I was like, you're really cute. And he was like, oh, I'm seeing someone. And I was like, that's totally fine. You're a great DJ. And I moved on with my life. It wasn't that hard. If I'm doing what I'm doing, which is approaching men, why can't you guys just also do the same? Can we just like meet halfway? I need to remind you men that seriously, the moment you come up to me and you say something like that, like it's a simple, easy line, don't be weird and cheesy, but just be like, hey, you come here often? Or like you come to this like gossip class? Or do you do this like 9 a.m. class all the time? Something like that, I immediately am like, oh, he's hot. Oh, he's fucking sexy. Without even like maybe being attracted to you physically. I'm just like, this guy's got balls. I appreciate that, and I'm here for it. Imagine if women and men were just approaching each other, and if it wasn't to go out and to go on a date, just to have stimulating conversation with other adults. Just imagine that. Imagine if what I picture to be happening in my head, or what should be happening in my head post a yoga class, what if it actually happened? Riddle me that. Let's make it happen, please.
A lot of these modern women don't realize your ultimatum is backfiring because you assume man is scared to lose you. You assume that you bring so much value to the table that a man just gonna be like, oh my God, she left. When a man is like, oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe it. She finally left. Man, now I can breathe easy.
So I want to ask a question to the single women out there who are dating. I want you to answer quickly. Don't even hesitate. Are there any good men left out there? Now, if your answer was immediately no, that's why I'm making this video. I know that we get bombarded on TikTok with these red pill, misogynistic alpha males with podcasts, and it's really easy to fall into the trap of thinking that there are no good men left. I see that so often in my comment section, and to a certain degree, I get it. They're the boldest, the loudest, the most cavemen type, knuckle-dragging, smooth-brained men you have ever come across. But I also want you to keep the hope there are good men out there, and this is why. Because if you truly believe in your heart, in your soul, in your subconscious that there are no good men left, it's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy that you're going to stay single. If you ever want to meet someone, you still have to keep a certain level of optimism left that there are some good men out there and that you are the kind of person who's going to find one, or they're going to find you, or be attracted to you. But if you're convinced that there are no good men out there, when your homegirl is like, girl, I got the perfect man for you, you're gonna sabotage it. You're gonna not be interested. You're not gonna give him a full chance. When you meet somebody at the coffee shop who is cute and your type and giving and flirting with you and all that, you're gonna brush him off because you're convinced there are no good men out there. If the more you convince yourself that there are no good men out there, that's all you're ever gonna see. So I want to open up your mind a little bit and to help you to realize that there are good men out there too. They just aren't as vocal on this app, but you know them in real life. They're your fathers, they're your brothers, they're your friends, they're your people you went to school with, they're your cousins. You know that you know good men. So why is it so impossible that you would ever believe that one of them can't be with you and have a great life with you? Don't let social media, don't let the internet, don't let any of these things make you convinced that these cavemen online are all that's really out here. People out here getting wiped up every day, B. Every single day. And you could be no different. How many proposals have you seen with men making these grandiose displays of love and affection to marry these women? You could be one of those women. But let go of the notion that there are no good men left just because of what you've seen online. Now, my job as a dating coach for over 10 years, somebody who's written books and hosted retreats all over the world with women, is to make you aware of the red flags and the warning signs, but not to sour you against all men. I don't want to be the only married woman out here. I want the same kind of love for all of you, but you'll never get there if you curve every dude because you're convinced that the cavemen online are all that's left. I assure you they're the loudest, but it's not just them. There are some good men out here who are quiet, but they're looking for a woman just like you.
You know, I see why men are staying single, because look around. We have women out here bragging about not cooking, not cleaning, not taking care of their home, not being soft, and not being supportive. And then expecting a man to show up as a provider, leader, planner, protector, and lover, while giving him absolutely nothing in return. And yes, I will be the one to say it. A home needs a woman who actually enjoys being a woman. A woman who takes pride in making her home feel warm and peaceful. A woman who loves her man in the same way that she wants to be loved. That is not oppression, that is care. Men are tired of being treated like a walking wallet. Tired of disrespect. Tired of begging for affection and a little peace. So, they are choosing to stay single, not because they hate women, but because they are looking for a woman that values her role just as much as his. And honestly, I don't blame them, because relationships only work when both people show up and give.
A lot of these modern women continue to want a man to fight for them, but they're fighting against the man. They're actively even though they don't think about it like that, they're actively an op for the man. You're actively going against what the man is trying to do and what the man is trying to establish. And the man trying to sit you down and tell you, hey, you're fighting against me, and you want to get mad and blow him up and run to the internet and tell the internet how he's treating you poorly, when it's you that needs to get a grip.
There's no sassy man epidemic. There's no who gonna be the boys epidemic. There's literally nothing of the sort. What y'all are not understanding is men now understand desirability politics in a way that is now more detrimental than it ever could have been. It's not moral to give a... It's not moral to get all these accolades and all these different things to get women to like you. Y'all will a bum because he got some good... Think about it from a perspective of a who might think he gotta get all these things and all this other, right? Maybe if he just finds a girl that likes him for how he just looks and how he is right then and there, he might be happier. Wait, if people like me, I don't have to do these things and jump through these hoops that society said I had to before.
I 100% agree with everything he's saying, but I think this applies to both genders. A lot of times people don't treat you the way that you treat them. People treat you the way that they feel about you. And I think that is the strong disconnect, especially in modern dating, because it's like, yeah, you could be giving somebody attention, validation, on the men's side, maybe sometimes money, on the women's side, sometimes sex. And that person might really like the things that you're giving to them, but that doesn't mean they really like you. And so I think what he's saying is completely valid. If you're a man who doesn't want to be a provider, then don't. Find a woman who likes you for you. Find a woman who wants to go 50-50 and doesn't have those expectations of a partner. Now, I personally don't think that a woman wanting a man who is going to be a provider is wrong. I just think that everyone needs to kind of stay in their lane and decide to date people who match what they want and stop shaming people who don't. I also will say I don't personally agree with what he said about how you don't always have to do all of that stuff if a woman really likes you, because there are some women who are genuinely looking for guys who will be providers, and they're not just out here hooking up with a bunch of, random guys on the side. But I think in general, like, both genders are waking up and kind of seeing real tangible examples of how the gender they're trying to date actually treats people that they really like. And it applies both ways. Genuinely, it does. For me personally, I've fallen into the cute but not hot category for a lot of guys. And so I've noticed a clear difference between how they would treat me, where they would be nice to me, they would text me, but they wouldn't be as motivated. They wouldn't be kind of fawning over me. They definitely wouldn't be trying to spend money on me like that in the way that they would when they saw a woman who was really, really hot. Been in situations with guys where they would say that I was everything that they wanted, but then they would end up immediately committing to a woman who was nothing that they said they wanted personality wise, but she met their aesthetic preference. So I think after you see those examples, you're just like, okay, I only want to date somebody who is very attracted to me from the jump. I don't want the things that I do for them or having to overcompensate with a bunch of qualities for them to sort of overlook the fact that they're lukewarm attracted to me. And I think that perspective is fair because I also have the same one. So yeah, I think that women should stop getting on social media and complaining that guys don't approach them as much or guys aren't willing to take them to fancy, expensive restaurants. If that's what you want, then find a guy who does that. If a lot of guys don't want to do that, then that's their choice. Same as some of the men who might get on here and say, oh, if she doesn't let me hit within the first 3 dates, she's gone. Like, okay, you can have your preferences, but that doesn't mean that she's wrong for not doing that. And I've seen guys kind of try to tear women down and be like, oh, we're grown, why don't we just do it? It's like, that's gross. Everybody is entitled to their boundaries, their standards, and their preferences. I think the overall message of this is just find somebody who fits what you want, who likes you for you, and who aligns with what you want in a relationship. But that is my personal opinion, so let me know what you guys think. Bye.
If you make the first move on a man, he's gonna treat you like fast food, okay? He's gonna show up and eat for sure. But it's gonna be sometimes, it's gonna be in an act of desperation. It's gonna be at the wee hours of the morning. And in general, he's not gonna take you seriously.
Do I think that women should approach men first? Yes, I absolutely do. But I do think that women need to have realistic expectations about this. And I do think that's where this conversation gets lost. Approaching men first doesn't mean that every single man that you approach is going to be interested in you. It also doesn't mean that every single man you approach is going to want a long-term relationship. Sometimes they will give you a chance because they respected the fact that you were confident enough to approach them first. You might have not been their 10 out of 10 ideal, type or whatever, but they liked the fact that you initiated, they liked that you were confident, and they were willing to give you a chance. And then just realize there's not enough compatibility, or realize that maybe there was some attraction to you initially, but he realized after a few dates that he wasn't growing the attraction to you that he would need to pursue a long-term relationship. A lot of women have said that when they've tried to approach a guy first, he would kind of use them as a convenience or use them as a placeholder while looking for the woman that he really wanted. And I do agree that those situations absolutely happen. But I also just think that that is the risk you take when you are the approacher. This isn't really about women approaching men. This is just about who is the pursuer versus who is being pursued. And I understand that a lot of women are used to being in the role of the pursued, and being the pursued is a lot more fun. It really is. It's a lot more fun to filter through your options and to be able to look at this lineup of people who are kind of trying to show you attention, to show interest, to get a date with you, and you being able to kind of sort through and choose the best one. That's a much more fun position to be in than being somebody who is pursuing and consistently getting rejected. But the positive about being a pursuer is that you have a larger pool to choose from. Now, that doesn't mean that every single person that you choose is going to choose you back. In fact, most people that you choose are probably not going to choose you back. But if you're looking for a monogamous relationship and you have a specific type, or the people that you like just generally don't approach you first, approaching them first doesn't mean that you're going to get every single person that you approach, but it does mean that your chance is just going to be increased. And so I think, in my opinion, approaching as a woman can be very beneficial if you have realistic expectations for being the pursuer or the one who approaches a man first. Let's say that you approach 10 men that you're very interested in. If 3 of them say yes, that is a success. And I do think that a lot of women wouldn't view it that way, because for a lot of women, for them to actually go against gender roles and decide to pursue a guy first, a lot of times they have to feel this very high level attraction to him up here, or it has to be a situation where they've already started to develop feelings for him over time. Maybe he's a friend or something. So again, the feelings or the attraction is already built up. And so I think for a lot of women, when they approach a man first and go against gender roles, it can feel very jarring when they got rejected, because a lot of women aren't just approaching guys that they're like, kind of attracted to, but they're not like up here attracted to. I think a lot more women would actually have better luck if they started approaching guys who weren't just they're like top attraction guys. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be attracted to the guy, but if you see a guy and you're like, oh, he's kind of cute, you know, you might not be like salivating over him when he walks into a room, but you're like, oh, he's like a, you know, good looking guy. Because a lot of guys who do approach, that's also their strategy. They approach women that they're like very, very attracted to, but they also approach women that they're, you know, attracted to, but might not be the hottest woman in the room, but they still find her attractive and will be interested in giving her a chance. I also think that this involves a lot of women being able to understand when to sort of the situation. And even if they approach a man first, they kind of need to know when to back off, because, okay, you approached that man first, he was interested, he gave you the shot for the date. If he starts being flaky or not responding, then you take that as a cue to move on. But that doesn't mean that approaching a man in general never works. This is more just about being in the driver's seat of your own love life, being confident with what you want, but knowing when to exit the situation because you're not getting what you want from that dynamic. But this is my personal opinion on women approaching first, so let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree or disagree. By the way, this is also part of a long-form YouTube video, and while most of this video on YouTube is the same, I did add a few tips if you're a woman who wants to approach men first. So if you're interested in that, go to my YouTube. Bye, guys.
These modern women are getting on these apps, and because they inbox be full, they be thinking, oh, I got options. Oh, I don't have to take this. I don't have to settle, yada, yada, yada. Not understanding that the good men in your inbox, if you would have been on your job doing what you were supposed to do, you'd have probably found them. But once again, because you think you have so many options, you take your time. I'm gonna go on a date here. I'm gonna allow this man to wind me and me there. And by the time you actually get to that man is long gone. That man didn't found himself a girlfriend who actually takes him seriously and prioritizes him. And you stuck back there looking like a loser.